What's up, everybody? It's White Boy Lockdown Radio, man. I'm gonna bring back a special guest today, Charleston White. Some people support him, some people don't. But want to get into the second part of interview with him. Internet's kind of doing him wrong right now, but there's a bigger purpose in this, and at some point I'll be able to give you everybody the full story. But let's go ahead and bring the guest on, get into the interview. What's up, everybody? It's White Boy Lockdown Radio, man. I got Charleston White back in the house. What's going on, Charleston? How you been, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? I've been doing good.
All right, right on, man. I wanted to get you on here for a part two, man, of the interview. Before we even get to any questions, man, I wanted to give you a shout out, man. You know, you fully supported me, and you've helped me out along this thing here, man. It's a strange way we met on this internet. And we keep it old school, me and you. We keep it, we have loyalty, and man, try to show people that, you know, everything we got to do is old school. You know what I mean? Because this new generation is getting crazy. So that's gonna lead me to the first question, man. Seeing what's going on with you on your page on the internet. The last time I had you on, kind of talked about white posers. You know, I can't stand when a white dude's sagging his pants and he's saying the N-word and this and that. I mean, I look at that dude like he's pathetic, man. And we know you're
same here.
What's that?
I said same here. I have those same sentiments.
How do you feel about these Asian dudes now?
I'm appalled, homie. I think it's fucked up that the Asians can try to emulate, mimic, and imitate Black culture all the way down to saying the word nigga. You know what I'm saying? And taking that word, using it amongst themselves, and then turn around and using it derogatory towards a Black guy. And they think they have the right. Not only that, they fighting for the right to be able to do that, homie. When no other group of people can publicly say that to a Black guy, right?
You're right. It's crazy, man. I've watched a lot of your videos, and people. One thing I could say about you, I've never once heard you say cracker. Never once on one of your videos. Okay, you say white folks, white boys, however you word it.
You know, Peckerwood, the one that's used as in, to me, I hear white boys say Peckerwood, so that's where I get the word Peckerwood from. White boys saying they're wood. So when I say Peckerwood, that's a respectful term to a white dude. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never say cracker. I never say wetback. I never say no racial terms, homie, except nigga.
I know you don't, and it's but let the internet tell it that they want to portray you to be a racist, the same as me. Yeah. It's ridiculous because you're doing something for your people, you know, which I respect fully, man. And it's just I think with this new generation, Charleston, there's a lot of confused and misinformed people, man. Whether they're white, whatever color they are, man. And
America done been weakened, homie, with liberalism, right? Liberalism says it's shameful to have white pride. What's so fucking shameful about white pride, homie? It's a white man can have pride. What's so shameful about a Mexican holler brown pride? They want to shame us for being proud of who God made us to be, who we was born to be, homie.
Yeah.
Right? Say what we want. We're all Americans, but I'm a Black American. You're a white American, homie. We're all in nature, but they got red birds, they got bluebirds, they got tigers, they got lions, they got all these different species. And it's okay to be who you are, right? We're not saying hate the other, but I'm saying, hey, man, I love this Black shit, nigga, and I'm a racist. Not that I want to harm anybody, but what's wrong with you wanting your race to be the best? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I absolutely do.
And let me say this a little further.
Go ahead.
And if you want to be hateful, what's wrong with you wanting to be hateful as long as you're not hurting nobody? Right?
It's freedom of speech. You're absolutely right.
If you hate, this is America. You can spew hate. This is America. I don't have the right to hurt you with my hate, but I can hurt your feelings. I can disrespect you and not be considered committing a hate crime. I don't have to like white people. I don't have to like Hispanics. It's my right to not like whomever. It's my right to be prejudiced. How can anybody say I'm wrong because I'm prejudiced?
I agree with you, man. You know, this again, man, this liberalism and these and you know, it's in the youth, man. It's in the younger generation, Charleston. You know, I am who I am. I'm proud to be white. I'm gonna die like that. And I know on the other side, you know, you're proud to be black. You know, but at the same time, man, I think everybody can feel tension right now. You know what I mean? And you know, I can't predict the future, but I have a strong feeling that one day, you know, the Chinese are going to be over here, man, trying to take this land from us. You know, it's just my thoughts, man. And you know, if you, and I think go ahead.
Let me say it for you. Between China, Russia, and North Korea, homie, and the Islam crowd, they all trying to come destroy America. Bottom line, China already has a reputation for doing Africans bad over there in their own land, right? So China isn't coming here to embrace American culture. They come to destroy America, right? We know this, homie.
Yeah.
When I read, when I was a kid trying to read the Bible, I read some of Genesis in the beginning, and I read all of Revelations. In Revelation, it talks about a dragon that comes through. That's China, homie.
The red dragon you're talking about.
Yeah, the red dragon. An atheist country, a godless country, homie. That's a godless country.
I have heard that before. I've heard that before. Revelations is a tough one to digest.
Yeah, so when you think about the end of the world and Revelations in the red, man, that's China.
I agree with you, man. You know, but I just think, you know, I know what you're doing, man. You're doing your thing on the internet. You know, over here.
And I'm mad in the motherfucker. They got a video of a bunch of round-faced, man, say a bunch of them motherfuckers on there calling me a nigga. A bunch of them calling me nigga. No black dude. Let Vlad TV and you do that. Let you get on there with your hair braided, with some gold teeth on, sag your pants, turn your hat to the side like this here, and let you say, yeah, man, that nigga Charleston, man. Yeah, nigga. And let y'all say, yeah, I got some nigga. We grew up in the trenches. Let you do that, homie, but go get a tan. But don't do it with your pink skin. Go get your little tan and kind of browning it up a little bit, right? I guess maybe because they got a little bronze to them. Nah, homie, they don't get no pass. The Mexican nobody gets a pass, homie, with that word. And then for me, for my YouTube to be shut down for playing that video, my name title, homie, I probably got one of the biggest lawsuits for to come against YouTube they probably ever seen, my nigga.
I hope you kill him, man. I hope you get him good. How do you feel like how do you feel the response of like your people that, you know, that are behind you?
Well, I see a lot of California niggas siding with the Asians, but the rest of the country, nah, homie, they standing with me. Those black mothers who don't even like their sons saying the word nigga. We got mothers, homie. Our grandmothers don't even like us saying the word nigga. You see what I'm saying? We have black school teachers. We have black men who don't like for us to say the word nigga. So how respectful do you think them Asian dudes are? They already trying to act like a nigga. So niggas are so how respectful you think they are when they using that word in front of our elders, homie? And if our elders say something to them, what you think they gonna say back to our elders? If they said telling me, fuck me for telling, what you think they're gonna say back to our elders if they say, hey, baby, don't say that in front of me? What you think they gonna say when they're trying to justify it? What would be their justification to our grandmother, 80-something years old, and say, baby, I'm offended by what you think what's gonna be their justification?
I can tell you one thing, they would not be saying that if in the prison system. There's no way in hell.
No, America could they say that?
They shouldn't be like that. You know, I see white dudes saying that inside and get smashed behind it, but it's.
I seen Mexicans go in prison and whisper it, but they don't. Even the other strong Hispanics, the strong Chicanos, say, "Hey, Holmes, no vato,
Yeah,
we not no mayates. What are you trying to act like a mayate for, Holmes? The real Mexicans, bring them back, homie. That's why I love them LA Mexicans, homie. Nah, homie, we vatos, we essays, Holmes. Them my Mexicans, the Holmes and the essays and the vato, not the nigga Mexicans, because they trying to be us. How could you have respect for anybody trying to be something that they're not?
I can't stand that. I can't stand it, man.
Man, I hate it, homie.
I hate it too.
Jewish dude acting nigga, you're a disgrace. An Asian acting nigga, you're a disgrace. Why don't you be so prideful to find why you want to be us, homie?
It's insane. It's insane. It's so backwards, man. But it's looked up to with this generation, man. But it's almost like they're so confused, man. I wanna. The last thing I have for you, man, is you know, you're a proud conservative, man. You say it a lot.
Hold on. Let me correct you.
Go ahead.
I'm a proud conservative nigga who just so happens to vote Republican, but I stand on conservative principles and values, homie. Man, woman, child, that's the family, the first trinity. Husband, wife, child, that's the first trinity. God, family, country, death penalty, taxes, very little government, little taxes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So my ideology, homie, is that of my ancestors. Leave us alone, government. Let us grow our own food. We take care of ourselves. We don't borrow. We don't even come go get government assistance. Remember, the old niggas, the ones that was called NIGGER, they never had government assistance. They didn't take government entitlements. They went over and built and grew food on whatever land that they had. And they never looked to the government for help. And by them doing that, they was able to places like Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood in Florida, Jones Street, 9th Street, Black banks, doctor's office, theaters. Man, they even had an airport. Them people done that with no government assistance. Now here come these new niggas, Negroes and black motherfuckers, and they are completely dependent upon the system. So here it is. They want to be us, but they really don't want to be us. Because you never hear them cry and join our struggles in our fight. And when they go to prison, they can't be nigga.
So, you know, these Asian dudes and these white confused dudes that say that word. So they're portraying what you're saying is, you know, the fake new breed of that, not what you're raised and what your ancestors were, correct?
Yeah.
That's insanity. So they're even following It's so confusing, man. It's insane, man.
See, the name nigga was given to the first African was Africans, homie. They wasn't niggas. The white boy didn't call them niggas. They was Africans. Those people couldn't speak the language of the European Englishman. When that white boy said, hey, give me that water. See, the niggas is the only race of people that didn't have a translator when they got here. Everybody else had a translator. The Chinese, everybody had a translator, except that nigga. He was brought here. So when the white boy said, hey, nigga, give me that water. He didn't understand it. He hit him. Hey, nigga, give me that water. You dumb mother. So he think he's illiterate and dumb because he can't understand him. So he start one thing about white American. I'm not gonna say white American. One thing about the Englishman. He names things. He gives titles and names to things, right? So he give us this name. We wasn't African people anymore. So there's a saying about this mythical figure, Willie Lynch, right? This mythical figure. He's never been proven to exist, right? But Willie Lynch is this mythical figure that creates this doctrine, the Willie Lynch doctrine, a scientific doctrine on how to control slaves at a magnitude unlike no other. And this guy was supposed to be the Bill Gates of slavery, right? He come from the Dominican Republic and over that way, the West Indies. He come from the West Indies, shows up to the banks of the Virginia River and give this speech to slave owners. Tell them how to control their slaves. They had just had this big uprising. So
it was his system, his method.
Yeah, it was his method, right? The Willie Lynch doctrine. It was a scientific method, right? This the Willie Lynch theory. You take the young against the old, the dark against the light, the woman against the man, and he ensured that if you do this, that this will create control. You'll be able to control these people for the next 400 years. And he said, we must do this now for future generations may not understand why we need to enslave these people because they'll let them free one day. But when they let them free, we'll still be in control based on this method, right? You take the woman and you take her away from the man, you isolate her and you reverse her nature and you make her completely dependent. I mean, completely independent away from the nigga male. So by this, she becomes independent on her own. She will teach her offspring. She will teach her offspring to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong to do the labor. You assassinate the image and the character of the black man, right? So it's a whole lot to this.
That gets deep right there, what you said. That gets pretty deep.
That gets deep, right? So let me stay on track so I don't lose focus. So those Africans, there's a book called How to Make a Nigga Slave. So you gotta make these people into a nigga slave. They don't just show up and by way of slavery become a nigga slave. It's a mental process of reconditioning and brainwashing that you have to go through and undertake to be a nigga slave. So then they made the first Africans go through this process. Everybody else that was born into this country and into this world was born a nigga slave. You see what I'm saying? So these people knew nothing but the word nigga. It's who you are, nigga. You don't even have a name. Black people in America didn't get a real name until Mark Twain wrote the book Huckleberry Finn. Do your history, nigga Jim.
Not to interrupt you, didn't they? I'm listening to everything you're saying, but once you get to Mark Twain, what comes to mind first? Didn't they cancel him? I guarantee that has to play with what you're saying.
he gave him a name, Nigga Jim. Before then, niggas didn't have no names. Nigga, it was nigga before then, and that's why they canceled him, because he showed black people in a different light to the world through his writings, through Huckleberry Finn. Nigga Jim. They learned to have compassion for the nigga through Nigga Jim.
Man,
so then that nigga, so then nigga have babies. Niggas start having babies after freedom. Now the nigga's children don't want to work on the plantation like the nigga. He don't want to farm and be dirty in the coveralls. The nigga couldn't really read or write, but he knew how to work the tractor. He knew how to build a house. He knew how to process the food. He knew how to grow the food, but he didn't know how to read the white man's words and books. Neither was he interested in reading the white man's words and books. For one, he didn't trust him. He thought his word was a lie and was trickery, because all he did was trick us. So we couldn't trust his words. All he wanted to do was just get him a piece of land, work that land, build him a house, have him some food, and raise his family and be left alone. The nigger's children, the Negro, the colored baby, the colored boy, wasn't getting called nigger. He got to learn how to read the white man's words. He got to learn how to read because he got to play with the white man's kids. Dr. King. Remember in the book, Dr. King said his grandmother told him, you can't play with that white boy, son. We can't do this. So that was Dr. King's dream, to hold hands and be friends with white people. The niggas didn't have that dream. Neither did the, you see what I'm saying? So Dr. King grow up as Negro and colored. Don't call me nigga. Nobody ever complained about being called nigga until Dr. King them came along. Man, so Dr. King come along.
You ought to, man, anybody who says that, especially Chinese or white, if they say the word, they should be able to tell every word you just said right there. But I can guarantee you they can't. You know what I mean? But it's just insanity, man.
So let me bring you up to where we at now with this word. So Dr. King, them people, right? Just think, they don't want to be called nigga. They saying, I'm a Negro, colored, Negro, colored. So now the word is being rejected and fought against. I'm a Negro man. I'm a Negro man. So now they start having children. Then the movement started changing. Now it's, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. Now you got the 70s era, the Black Panther Party, the Afros, the Black Fist, the Black exploitation film. So these are the 70s going into the 80s, early 80s, right? So we done went from nigga, colored and Negro. Now we just black. We just black. Everything is about blackness. I'm black and I'm proud. So then here comes Jesse Jackson, right? Okay. With liberals. They done went from black to Pan-Africanism to now African-American. The term African-American didn't come along until Jesse Jackson said it, to the early mid to late 80s. By this time, you have the emergence of a new black culture called the hip hop culture by way of gangster rap and rap music.
You're very against that. You're very against that.
Yeah. So now you have this culture along with the crack epidemic. You have entertainers like Red Fox, Richard Pryor, or Eddie Murphy. They have now taken the word nigga and using it. Nigga. Yeah, nigga say, what's up, nigga? You got the last poets who are making poetic songs. Die, nigga. Niggas love dying. Niggas been dying for 400 years. So now you got this word being transformed 3 generations later. That's being embraced by our culture. So now for my generation, we have the introduction of rap music, gangster rap, hip hop, NWA, niggas with an attitude that takes this country by storm. Now we niggas with an attitude because we rebelling. We 3 generations of civil rights legislation. Niggas with an attitude. Fuck the police. Fuck. And if you was anybody else other than black, you use that word, nigga, we'll kill you. So now, nigga, you fast forward to now. Now we got the hip hop generation. We ain't got gangster rap and rap music. We got the hip hop generation.
Yeah.
It ain't gangster rap, just the hip hop generation. And all it is hip hop artists.
The mumble
right?
dudes, yeah, you can't even understand.
So it's a bunch of hip hop bullshit now. No
Right.
culture. The hip hop. So now everybody think they can sing this word because they sang the songs to the hip hop culture, but not really respecting and understanding the culture on why we saying this word. What this word mean to us because we took the sting out of it. But they have to remember, it's some people still around, homie. That word still got a lot of sting to it. So what makes them think they can freely say it and it not be no beef? And they ready to beef with us about it. So I mean, let's beef behind it. Because as long as I'm alive, homie, and my grandmother and them alive, and we got people with NIGGR still on their birth certificate, you have no right to that word.
Hey man, that makes a lot of sense, the way that you just broke that down. Absolutely. It's almost like they are embracing culture through music and trying to share a struggle that they know nothing of.
They know nothing.
You know, I want to end it here, man. I get a lot of on the internet, at least. I get a lot of people coming over here like, hey man, why do you mess with Charleston, this and this and that? He says this and he says that. So to those people, I say, if he said something that hurt your feelings, then he was probably talking to you, talking about you. That's exactly how I answer the comments. But how would you address that yourself?
Say, homie, you probably one of the most loyal individuals I've met in the last 10 years.
I appreciate that.
You've probably been one of the most consistent men that I've paid attention to in the last 5 years. Consistency in who you are, what you say, and what you do. When I think about the relationship me and you got, homie, I think about Barack Obama. Sadly to say, I think about Barack Obama. And the reason I think about that, homie, is because in his book, he talked about his white grandfather, who really wasn't too fond of black people.
Really?
He was more prejudiced than he was racist, right? Ideologies make us prejudiced. Beliefs, upbringing.
Hey, hold on. Let me say something. The last interview we did, you did say that Barack Obama was raised by racist people. I won't read the book. Not a Barack fan, but
let me just say,
I'll take your word.
Grandfather has some extreme white supremacist views, right?
His grandfather.
Yeah, his grandfather was an Archie Bunker, right? And we all knew Archie Bunker growing up. Watching Archie Bunker and Edith. Archie was a racist white dude. If you watched Archie on television, you would hate him. But if you got the backstory to who the guy that played Archie Bunker really was, you'll find out that he was responsible for shows like Good Times, The Jeffersons, Heat of the Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
He put the black dude on there over Bubba. You know how many white people in this country was mad about that Tisdale being over Bubba? They didn't like that. But let me stay on topic. So Obama had grandfather with prejudice, homie. With a prejudice ideology. But he had a black neighbor who they considered one another to be friends, and they shared their ideologies. They both was prejudiced. And Obama had to listen to that bullshit and became compassionate. He became compassionate. All up until he dated, all up until he married Michelle Obama, he dated white girls.
I didn't know that either.
Read the book. He liked white girls. But let me just say this, homie. So when I think about me and you, that's what I think about. Two guys on the opposite end of the spectrums, believe what they believe, but they have a common ground. We both live in the same country and share the same values. We just prejudice with our ideologies, but we don't hate nobody. Me and you don't have a store where we can put a sign up and say no Chinese people. So we don't have the power to be racist.
Absolutely. Good point.
We have the right to be prejudiced, though. We don't have the power to be racist, but I have a right to be prejudiced with my ideology and my belief system. And I don't push my belief system off on nobody else. I just stand on it. And if you challenge me about my belief system, I know how to articulate it. And most people think that I'm hateful because I can articulate my prejudice that you see as racism. No, it's an ideology that I believe.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Much respect. I got to do my research. I might check the book out, but I don't know if it get me to be an Obama fan.
Nah, say you'll love the fact, homie. You see where his grandfather, Kansas, he got him. Obama don't know his black side of the family because of his grandfather now. He wasn't gonna let that go be nigga. He was raised as a white boy with granddaddy and grandmama. He never got to see black. He don't know the black struggle. Obama don't know the Negro struggle. He don't know the African American struggle, homie.
That's why he didn't do nothing when he was in there for, you know what I mean?
Struggle. And that's why I'm not mad at him. How, if he was raised with his white prejudiced grandfather and his loving white grandmother, he never got to go to Kenya and meet them African motherfuckers till he became president. He don't know them people. He don't know nothing about what a black boy got to do. He was raised in the house with the two white people in Hawaii.
I got to check it out, definitely, man. But all right, any shout outs? What do you want to tell the internet, man, while you're here? When will you be back?
Say, man, my suspension is lifted on Monday or Tuesday. So I'll be back in a couple days. While I was down, I made over $6,000 in the month of May, and I was only on YouTube for 7 days.
It's doing pretty good, Black.
Yeah. So I appreciate you, homie. And I just want to say, you probably one of the best YouTube consultants right now, homie. So y'all pay that man for what he's worth, man. Every week I'm paying $400 a month, man. So if y'all ain't doing that, stay away from it.
On that one, man, we're out of here. Y'all stay out and stay safe. All right, Charleston.
All right.